Hello everybody, I'm Yu-Gi-Oh! Deckmaster, and it's time for another deck special! Hello everybody, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Deckmaster 41, aka Jason Lee. So my deck has actually been going pretty well. I've done some fixes since the last time I went, and then ended up going to another locals. Got 6th place, which did include prize support, so I'm pretty happy about that. I think I finally got it down to 50 cards, got the build that I want to go with, and even got a ride thanks to my friend Kang, who will be taking me along with his friend Noah and possibly some others to the regional in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the 4th. This will be my first regional, and this is going to be the deck I'll be taking there, and also be taking to locals tomorrow. After the regionals, I'll do another deck profile and let you all know either if I change anything, I'll show the changes. If not, I'll just give a match-by-match report. So this will be the deck I'll be going with. It's still going to be a Invoked Dogmatika, well, not Despia, but branded-ish deck. So let me know what you think down below. Comment, subscribe, all that jazz. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. With that said, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start off with the Invoked engine, which we have there we go. Always hard to get these in the right way. 3 Alistair the Invokers. Upon normal summon, he gets you Invocation. And he can also be discarded to boost up any fusion by 1,000 attack and defense till the end of the turn. Hand trap quick effect. Ignore my cat. If he ain't the center of attention, he's crying his head off. Oh, hush. You want to see Alistair as much as possible because I've cut out the kits and the things to get branded fusion, so this is really your only normal summon of the deck, minus if you, I don't know, draw an Albaz or something. So to get to him a little quicker, we got 3 Meltdown. Meltdown gets you Alistair, plus protects your fusion spells, or, well, spells from being negated, / effects, and your opponent can't activate things in response to the fusion summon, and then, of course, 1 Terraforming. Also, I'm still sticking with 1 Invocation. This has not felled me yet. I've had many people saying I should up this to 2, but you know what? I have bricked on this thing a few times with only 1, and I've never ever needed the second one, so I'm just fine. Yep. Yeah, there we go. With just 1. Then for the Dogmatika package, I cut it down a little. Originally, I was running 2 Ecclesia, 2 Fleur, and 2 Nadir, because Nadir is semi-limited. But I found the second of those just really wasn't that good. And I took out Dogmatika Punishment because that thing actually costed me several games. This is more than enough. Nadir lets you send either Intis to break boards, or the Abyss Dragon / Albion to get fusion searching at the end of the turn. Ecclesia searches Fleur, and Fleur can summon itself and make both Dogmatika monsters big beefy bitches, as well as having a quick monster negate if Ecclesia is still on the build. Then, of course, we got the DPE package. I mean, we're going to run this until it gets hit. Duh. Then we go on to the branded package. We got 2 Albaz, still sticking with 2. I think people that run 3 branded fusion and only 1 Albaz is stupid, because honestly put, you want to get this off more than once, in my opinion. I cut out the 3rd Eye of the Goddess because right now all I have is Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon, and he's good, but he's not great. Now, instead, going first, I kept in the Quad Shadalkias, which allows me to go into Winda. So Albion into Winda, usually banishing the Albion to prevent Super Poly. And Winda has won me so many games. And then, of course, we got the 3 branded fusion. We draw it when we draw it, or we can search it off of Nadir by dropping Albion or whatnot to the grave. Then we got our hand traps. Ratios have changed a lot since Verte's banning. Triple Ash still, because, you know, it's the best hand trap right now. Then we got Triple Veiler, because it just hits a lot of the other decks. Granted, Branded can or Despia can kind of play around it with opening in the, you know, draw phase and whatnot, but still, this is just really good overall, I feel. And then we're putting in double DD Crow, because that just stops a lot of decks. And then finally, triple Imperm. We're just negating that shit left and right. Let me go ahead and make a little more room. Doing this all on a tablet, so not as much room as some. We got ourselves triple Super Poly. Sadly, that one's a common. I want to change it to gold. Gonna work on that. So Super Poly just, I was against this card at first, and then I started seeing a high rise of Despia players at my locals, and it was like, oh, fuck no. And this card, ever since putting it in, has won me games against Despia. Big time. We got, of course, the Book of Moon, doing the old Flunderees routine of, oh, you want to Imperm Veiler, yada, yada, yada. Well, screw you. Book of Moon. Protect your stuff, or flip your opponent's stuff face down. Then we got just kind of the leftover traps. You know me, I love purple cards. We got 3 Ice Dragon Prison, because I feel like it's actually one of the best traps there is. You steal your opponent's monster, beat them down with it, or can banish stuff. You don't run any links except one, and you ain't going to ever go into it with these, so you no longer can link with it, but you can still beat them down. Then, of course, we got Triple Compulse. Get that shit back to your hand. Remember, the new ruling state that if something has an effect that says, hey, when an opponent's card leaves the field, if it's the monster itself that left the field that has the effect, such as Absolute Zero, Mirror Jade, etc., if it goes back to the hand or the extra deck, its effect can't activate. But things like Sky Striker, it's on Ray that says it, so therefore she still can. Then, of course, we got Triple Dimensional Barrier. We want to go first when we can, and we want to stop our opponent from doing anything. And to help us get there, we also run Double Trap Trick. Basically a 4th or 5th copy of any of the traps you see. Then for the side, big one. For kind of like rogue decks or swarm decks that don't pay attention, double nib. Don't want to do 3 because I found 3 to be bricky, but I just don't feel confident enough going into my first regional with Godarla, so I went ahead and went to nib. Then we got ourselves a 3rd DD Crow for the Despia matchups, as well as double Ghost Spell. You're not getting anything from the graveyard, period. If I see you going for the graveyard a lot, this shit's coming in. For the type lock decks like Tri-Brigade, maybe even Soul Sword to some degree, and of course, Flunderees, we got the Zombie World Necro Banshee package. And then for monster / back row removal, we got the double Lightning Storm. For back row removal, we got the triple Twin Twister. And for monster / back row removal again, we got the triple Evenly Match. And then finally, oh, and of course, can't forget about the Nibiru token. And finally, we got the extra deck. We're going to start off with Mirror Jade. Obviously, you summon this. If your opponent gets rid of it, you're going to nuke all their monsters in phase. And as a quick effect, but only once every other turn, you can send an Albaz fusion monster from your extra deck to the grave, banish a monster, and of course that will trigger their effects in phase. We got one Lubellium. We don't go into this much, but this helps get into the Necroid Banshee combo, as well as, you know, if we played a certain way and we don't have enough Albions left, we can go into this to still get a fusion play off. We got one Titanclad. He can be used as our big beater at the end of the thing. His effect allows him, when he's fusion summoned, he gains the attack of the materials 100 times their level, and he's unaffected by monster effects that are from the extra deck, so normally he's on 3,800, unaffected by monster effects from the extra deck, and if they do get him to the graveyard, I could bring out, if I still have, you know, Dogmatika stuff, or I can just send it to get the Dogmatika stuff as well. Then the newest edition, Abyss Dragon. I'm never probably going to summon this. I'm just sending it to the grave off Nadir or Mirror Jade to get to Fusion Destiny. Maybe Branded, but mostly Fusion Destiny with this. Then, of course, we got Double Albion, Banish Materials. This allows us to go for a majority of our plays. We're going to either go for Mirror Jade, we can go for Titanclad, we can go for Winda, or any of our Invoked fusions if Alistair's somewhere around there, which is really cool. Then we got, just to have Nadir have the option to be a board breaker card, we run one Elder Entity Intis. This we can send off of that, get our search going, but still also, you know, pop a card. Of course, we got our Winda. Wish I had the OG art, but okay. Only special summon once, and it can't be per person, once per turn, and can only and can't be destroyed by card effects. I mean, that's a nasty little fucker right there. Plus, Alistair can always boost it, so keep that in mind. Our super poly targets, we got Predaplant, Dragostapelia, and Starving Venom. And then, you know, you're just taking your opponent's shit and beating them over the head with it. And then we got our Fusion Destiny target of DPE, our Makaba, our Agadias, or Agades, however you pronounce that, Ago. He's probably my favorite Invoked Fusion just because he can get really beefy and he just keeps popping shit. And then we got our Invoked Purgatrio. Now, this is a little harder to go into because we're not running the Armorage package, but everybody's maining Ash, and there's usually at least one other fire or something that comes around. And this just can win you games, so it's really worth running. And then the only link we're running is one Artemis, the Magistus Moon Maiden, and this is just a link off Alistair and then banish it in Alistair to go to Makaba. And that is my deck. Wish me luck at the regionals and at locals tomorrow, and I'll get you on the flip side with the report and deck changes, if any. As always, take care of the loved ones, including your fur children, and until next time, peace out, rock on.